Welcome to Vet Review. In this video, we are going to differentiate between the humerus of horse, dog, and pig. So first of all, let us talk about the humerus of horse. So the first thing that you're going to immediately notice when looking at a humerus of horse is that the musculo-spiral groove is very prominent and the deltoid tuberosity is very prominent. So when you're looking at from an anterior view, what you will see structure like this. The structure of a humerus of horse when looking at it from the anterior view is like this, because the musculo-spiral groove is very prominent. Okay, and the bone looks very much twisted. Okay, so the first point that we are going to add is deltoid tuberosity. So del tuberosity is prominent, and the second thing is musculo-spiral groove is also very much deep twisted. Okay, so I'll just write musculo-spiral groove is prominent, deltoid tuberosity is also very prominent. Now the second thing that you are going to notice when looking at the proximal extremity here, what is the thing that you are going to notice? Not be able to appreciate that thing in this view. Why? Because it is a lateral view. Look, I have written here left humerus, lateral view. That is what I have written here, and this is the cranial or the anterior aspect, and this is the caudal or posterior aspect. So what you are going to notice is when you are looking at from the cranial, either cranial or caudal, better at cranial aspect, you will see that the summit of the lateral tuberosity of the humerus is not going to overhang the bicipital groove. So in case of humerus of ox, what we have studied, that in case of ox, this is the bicipital groove, the medial tuberosity, the summit of the lateral tuberosity is going to overhang like this, right? But in case of horse, that is not the case. So summit doesn't overhang over the bicipital groove. Summit doesn't overhang over the bicipital groove. And the last and most important point is that the bicipital groove itself, it is ridged or it is divided by a ridge. So normally the bicipital groove is just a groove, but in this case you will be able to appreciate a ridge dividing the bicipital groove. Okay, so bicipital groove is ridged. This is a very important point. So what are the 4 points? Deltoid tuberosity is very prominent. Musculo-spiral groove is deep. It is much more twisted, very much appreciable, and summit of the lateral tuberosity doesn't overhang the bicipital groove, and the bicipital groove itself is divided by a ridge. Okay, so bicipital groove is ridged. This is very much important. Now let us come to the humerus of dog. In case of humerus of dog, what you are going to appreciate first is that the shape is like an S. Okay, so the shape is like an S, and in general what you are going to see with the bones of dog is that they are very delicate, or you can say all the structures are not as prominent as some other animals. Okay, for example, this bone is very slender, right? I hope you can appreciate this shape. So basically the musculo-spiral groove here, it is not that much deep, or it is not that much twisted when compared to either ox or horse. Okay, so this is one point. Second point that actually I'm going to write here is that deltoid tuberosity is in the form of a ridge. In form of ridge. So what I mean by this, see this crest of humerus, this is the crest of humerus, and you know what is deltoid tuberosity? It is just a prominent part of the crest of humerus. Okay, so this deltoid tuberosity is in the form of a ridge. Okay, so this is something that you are going to appreciate, and this is an important point. Plus, if you can see here that I have made something here, that is a tubercle that is formed on the proximal aspect of that crest of humerus. It is also present in case of dog. Plus, the lateral tubercle is not divided. Lateral tuberosity is undivided. What do I mean by this? So in case of ox, horse and pig, what we are going to see, that the lateral tuberosity is divided into two parts. One is summit, the other is convexity. Okay, convexity is posterior, convexity is anterior, and the summit is posterior. But in case of dog, there is no demarcation of the lateral tuberosity into summit and convexity. Plus, the most important point is supratrochlear foramen. Supratrochlear, forgive me for the bad handwriting. I hope it is at least legible. Trochlear foramen is present. Okay, supratrochlear foramen is present in case of a dog. And what is supratrochlear foramen? It basically connects the two fossas that we see in the distal extremity of the humerus. What are those two fossas? Olecranon fossa and radial fossa. So supratrochlear foramen, it connects the olecranon fossa to the radial fossa. Now let us come to the pig. Now the shape of this humerus is like a small f, except that slash here. Okay, so except this one line, you can see that the shape is like an F. Why? Because the two extremities, the proximal and the distal one, they are very much inclined. So you can write ends or the extremities are inclined. So it gives it a F, small f like shape. Plus the medial border, the medial surface and the anterior surface, they have a border in between. Okay, so in case of horse, dog and ox, what is happening? The border is very smooth. You cannot say that there is a border. Okay, the medial surface is continuous with the anterior surface. But in case of pig, there is a border, but instead of tubercle, the border is there. Okay, so in case of horse, dog and ox, what we see at that area, we see teres tubercle. But in case of pig, there is no teres tubercle on the medial surface. There is just one border, but no tubercle. Okay, so teres tubercle is absent. This is an important point. Teres tubercle is absent. The third point is the lateral tuberosity is very big. It is very prominent and grooved. So lateral tuberosity is grooved. This is the important point in humerus of pig. This lateral tuberosity is grooved. I hope you can see it. Okay, so the demarcation between the two parts of lateral tuberosity is the most prominent in case of pig. Okay, so this is it. One more point, that in both dog and pig, what you are going to observe is that because their lateral tuberosity is very much prominent, that is why the bicipital groove is shifted medially. Okay, so the bicipital groove is not in the middle, it is not in the midline, it is shifted medially. So that is also a differentiating point. It is not that prominent. I have only written the more important points. So I hope you found this video useful. If so, then please leave a like and share this video with your friend. And if you haven't subscribed, then please subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. Thank you.